Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, or Tiger Tank 12, however you want to call me, I don't really care. And today I got another two gameplays for you, and today's topic is going to be map awareness, or the lack of map awareness in World of Tanks, which I have noticed recently in quite a lot of games. Now, I know I have not uploaded a lot of gameplay footage with high kills, no, a high amount of kills, a lot of damage, or maybe funny gameplays, whatever. I've been uploading more things that have to do that are problematic in World of Tanks, maybe. Let's put it this way. And don't worry, I will upload funny or whatever high damage gameplays too. But I think some things just have to be spoken about and have to be addressed. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm a rather small channel, so I don't think I will speak to that many people out there. But the few people who will watch this video, I'm not sure. But you probably have been in a situation like me, that you have your team or the enemy team, and your team goes one way and ignores the entire other part of the map. So I'm gonna stop. No, I'm not gonna stop with that. So you can see I'm sitting in my T-54, which is now completely upgraded. Beautiful tank. I've been playing this tank quite a lot now. That's why you can see a lot of gameplay, or a lot of the videos are based on the T-54 because I'm playing this tank quite a lot. And what you can realize right now is, if I pause it real fast, you can see 4 tanks are going into the city, and we're playing on live oaks. This is the most important two. There are two important parts of this map, and that's the city and the railway right down there. The south and the northern part. The middle can be ignored because it's pretty much just water, and it's really hard to get through there without getting noticed or spotted. You can of course push down here, but still there's a high chance of getting shot by the south, or here the TDs camping on the D1 or the 3 area right here, E2 area. So, of course you can only win this map if you have a balanced setup, pretty much. You can see I'm writing into the chat that we don't have enough people going into the city, and sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's not luck, sometimes you're unlucky, and this can be death of your team. And you can see this poor IS-7, he just took a hit because of me, but he wasn't damaged since it hit his track and did 0 damage. So you can see we have a massive amount of tanks gathered at the entire 0 line. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tanks. 9 tanks. That's almost 2/3 of the entire team. We have 4 tanks in the city, of which 2 are heavy tanks, 1 tank destroyer, and 1 medium tank. And a medium tank in the city, actually I should be going down the railroad, but this is one of the important things. If you know that your team cannot hold a certain part of the map, you still have to go to that part of the map and try to hold it. Because if these guys down there don't push fast enough, and we don't hold out long enough up north, we will lose this entire flank. They will have to come back, and the enemy team can push this entire flank. They can push them, while these guys swoop around from behind and take them out if we can't hold it. So that's one of the reasons, if you are playing this tank, or if you're playing World of Tanks in general, you have to be aware of the map. And sometimes I have the feeling people are playing World of Tanks like this. If you hit V, everything disappears. And I have the feeling that people either don't have a map, or the map is too small and they don't see, or they just plainly ignore it, which causes a lot of losses. A T-54 is a really nice trolling tank in my opinion. I'm gonna stop really fast. Sorry for stopping so often. The armor of this tank is amazing. For a tier 9 medium tank, you bounce so much crap. The turret is amazing, but of course the gun is not the best, but it's not bad either. If you run with heat rounds, of course heat rounds, shooting gold is a little bit problematic. A lot of people will hate you for that, but But if you use it in a okay amount, I think it's not a problem because it is in the game. So why not use them? So if you side scrape with a T454, if you can really use the terrain to your advantage, this is really important. If you're just 4 guys going up against I don't know how many tanks in the city or in a other place on the map, you need to use the terrain to your advantage. Of course, you should use it always to your advantage. Either way, if you're not enough tanks or if you're enough tankers against the enemy team, but just it is extremely important when you're smaller numbers. When you're in small numbers, so you can see I'm running this strat where I sit right here. This is a very important choke point of the city because now here I can tie down the enemies and put them right there, and I can stop them from pushing me. I can sit here and take some pop shots, and I'm pretty much safe from artillery, which is really important. And I am, yeah, I'm kind of safe because of the perfect angle that I have right here. Nobody can pen me up front. So this would not have been possible if my artillery right there would not have supported me like this. I know Audi is a big piece of shit. Every time somebody gets hit by Audi or you get hit by Audi, it's really annoying because artillery is overpowered in my opinion still. I'm not gonna say anything more to that because Audi, yeah, everybody hates Audi. So I'm gonna stop it. But if you use artillery to your advantage, if you use it as the right way right here to hold an entire flank, I think this is the perfect use of artillery, or this is how you should use it. So you can see that the southern part luckily is pushing, which is not often the case in a lot of teams, that people sometimes don't even push. And I take the hit from the E100, he gets my frontal plate, unfortunately, my frontal armor, and he's able to pen a shot right there. So right now this is the part where it's very important. You can see I'm holding down 3 tanks in this entire little alley right here. And I'm using the terrain to my advantage. Artillery is supporting me. He just took out the IS-7 700 damage roll shot twice. 1,400 damage done. That is really, you can see how powerful artillery is. And if you use it correctly, you can decimate any enemy team with just 2 tanks. But still, Artie, God, that tank. I hate Artie so much. So yeah. So you can see I'm tracking the guys right here. The IS-7 died in a very unfortunate spot for his enemy team. The E100 now is getting perma-tracked by me. And you can see the perfect place for this tank. Nobody can pen me right here. But unfortunately, I think right now, the IS-7 over there, he's pushing back. Yeah, he pens me because he has a better angle and he can shoot my side armor right there. So this just worked. This only worked because artillery was working good with me. The IS-7 in the back right here and the IS-8 and the Object 704 did a really good job in the city, and the enemies did not really push us hard enough. And because our team pushed really hard in the south, otherwise this would not have been possible. We would have lost this game. If our southern team, the southern push, did not happen, if they would have just sat there and did nothing, well, we would have probably lost this match. And this is why it's so important to have map awareness. I mean, you can see the entire enemy team right now, or a good portion, was taking out. Yeah, well, not the entire, but a good portion was sitting here in the city, was taken out. And the couples down in south, they did not stand a chance against this overwhelming force. So we got lucky this time because yeah, and you can see I'm just shooting this carnivore in the ass. There's this it's the end of the map, but I still can shoot behind it because he parked his tank. a little bit behind the line, and I can still shoot him for this. And this is really annoying, to be honest. But I was really lagging now, and yeah. So yeah, that's when I was lagging. Well, you can see you can hold the entire choke point in the right tank with the right use of terrain or the right use of angle and all that stuff. And I have to say, if we hadn't held the city like that, I think we still would have won this game because the enemy team did not play very well. But if we would not have held out this long up north, I'm pretty sure that they would have rolled into our base, taken out the artillery, and maybe they would have outcapped us. But I think that there's a very minimal chance that would have happened because they had very heavy tanks. But either way. So I got another gameplay for you guys, and let's get to that. Gameplay of the E50M on highway. Sorry, I scrambled a little bit back there. In the end of the T54 gameplay, I'm kind of, yeah, I can't speak today. It's quite early, and today is a special day. It's my birthday, so yeah, a lot of stuff has been happening, and I'm sorry about that. So we're playing the E50M on highway. This is actually one of the best maps for mediums, in my opinion. And if you look at this real fast, this is actually already a complete win. If you just look at the tanks right there, it's not because they have more red or orange or whatever. That doesn't matter. No, it's just if you look at this, we have 50B, a fast tank, we have a Leopard 1, we have a Lorraine, we have an E50M, we have a T54 3 times, we have 3 T54s, we have a WZ, and we have a Centurion, we have a Centurion. So we have quite a lot of medium tanks, like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 medium tanks. So this is a map for mediums pretty much, and medium tanks usually go down the one line, the entire A line to the base, and they can just flank around. And if you look at the enemy team, how many mediums do they have? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 mediums. 8 versus 5. But now the thing is that if you don't have map awareness, like the enemy team, let's move up. Let's play this. So you can see pretty much all the mediums are going field. We have a couple of tanks going into the city just to hold them off. This is one of the tactics. If you use communications correctly, you can do this. We told these guys, the tier 8s, the heavy tanks, the 50B, that if they go into the city and they can hold off the enemy tank, the enemy advantage for a little bit of, like, I don't know, a couple of minutes, we will be able to push around the backside. But the most important thing about this is that we have to be fast. We cannot let the guys in the city wait too long because they will probably be outnumbered, and so we will have to use our speed as our advantage. So you can see all the mediums running down here. This is pretty much unbeatable, except if you have a lot of tanks shooting the mediums. And this map, this 1-2 line and the A line, this is one of the most important parts of the map. This decides the game, and you can see who we run into. We run into an Object 261 artillery piece, and we run into a FB215B. And immediately, I have the feeling that they completely ignored this entire flank. And if you look 1 minute later, you will see that I am correct with this statement. The entire enemy team, well, pretty much a high percentage of them, is sitting in the city. A couple of them are sitting at base. You will see that right now. But we're pushing up. I don't know, we're 6 or 7 medium tanks pushing down this line, and they have zero chance of stopping us. If the mediums are on a roll, just by sheer numbers we can crush them. And you can see that even City is doing a really nice job. The AMX-50B took out the Pershing, and they're holding the enemy tanks back. And this is really, really astonishing. I mean, they're outnumbered, but they're still doing a quite good job. So you can see we're pushing into the cap. There's an IS-4 who's coming back from City, an IS-3, and a T-30 who's sitting right in the bush. I know that was some misplay by me. I should have checked the bushes first, because I knew that somebody would be hiding in there. So you can see the T-30 right there. He's slowly backing up. He noticed his mistake that, oh crap, there are just too many of them. I can't take him out. I don't have the reload time. I take a nice shot, hit him in the cupola, and he goes down by the artillery. And now you can see that the enemy team is slowly coming back from the city, and the chaos is pretty much complete. Some tanks are still pushing in the city, some are falling back. You see the 75 is desperately trying to defend the cap and get us off their base, and the IS-4 is just getting destroyed by our mediums. So this is one of the things. Map awareness is really important. It's going to cost you a game, or it's going to win you the game. It's going to win or cost you the game. That's pretty much how it is. Of course, we had the advantage. Matchmaker gave us this victory pretty much because we had the mediums. We have that many mediums, but we worked pretty well. We worked pretty well together, and we used communications. And you can see that the enemy tanks, well, they pushed city, but we have their entire flank, and they are pretty much screwed. Either way, they can come back. If they come back, they're getting destroyed by us. If they go into our cap, we will follow them, or we will take them out from behind. And this is pretty much why it's important to have map awareness. If the enemy team would have at least say about put 5 or 4 tanks on the western flank at B1, A1 or B2, and they had some tank destroyers sitting at base, shooting all the medium tanks that were sitting at B1 or A1. They would have stood a chance, because they could have still pushed city with a couple heavy tanks and taking out the heavy tanks we had in the city. But because they did not have the map awareness, we got a very easy victory out of this. And in the end, you can see I'm posting in there that Matchmaker decided this match. That this was actually one of the factors, but also because they just didn't look at the map. And this is the one problem that Worlf of Tanks has. People just sometimes ignore the map, or they just go to one spot because they like that spot, they ignore the complete other half. I mean, it's really important. I know sometimes if you go to a spot and you're only 3 tanks and you hold off the enemies for a little bit of time and they're pushing really in sheer numbers, it gets really frustrating because you will get taken out really fast and you will probably not have done a lot of damage, except if you're autoloader. And the enemy team, they will notice that if you're not enough players, they will push you. That's how Worlf of Tanks goes. They will push and they will take you out and they will push on. And it's really frustrating if your team on the other side of the map is not doing anything. If that team is just sitting there and not pushing at all and just looking over the map and looking how your entire flank falls. I know it's frustrating sometimes, but if you go to the other side and support the guys who are not that many on that flank, you may be able to win the game, just like before in the last match. We held off their push and our team pushed into their cap and they took them out. If that's the perfect way. That's how it should go if you're outnumbered, but it doesn't always go like that. But of course it's best if there are enough tanks going on both sides, like half-half. That would be a perfect setup. But that doesn't always happen. So I hope you guys liked this. I'm a little bit all over the place today, so I'm sorry if my commentary is a little bit confusing from time to time. Yeah, this has been Tiger Tank 12 or TheFrXion, and I'm out.